Joe, good morning, man. How you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I am very good. Welcome to another Thursday morning, man. We
Another
we
one.
did it again.
Another
Here we
one.
are.
We did it. We did it. We did it. We finally made it. It's good to be here. This is Proper Cup of Joe. That's Adam. He has snakes. I'm Joe. I don't, and I have a lot of questions. That's the premise of the show, isn't it, Adam?
That's it, man. That is the I was sitting around Thanksgiving dinner one year and everybody was asking me all these questions, and I was like, this is a show, man. This is right here. People have questions about snakes and my life choices, and now we picked them apart and we figure them out. Look at everybody in here, man. This is hanging. They're active.
Yeah, look at this. All right, already. It's popping. It's popping.
Good morning, chat. Joe, how's your week been? What have you been up to, man?
It's been pretty good, actually. Well, it's had its ups and downs. So yeah, a lot going on today. I am going to be CPR trained today. That's
wow. Okay.
My job. It's weird. Like one of my contracts is like, so I do a bunch of training and stuff like that. So, but one of the people that I have a contract with, they wanted to have a CPR trainer. So, which I have done in my past. And I was like, yeah, I can do that. I'll throw that in there.
Yeah, for the right price, right? That's what you got to do.
So I'm going today, and then I got to go on Monday to get certified to teach the class. So
now, I've heard it
weird.
I heard it changed since like I was certified. Like, do you not do the mouth breathing anymore? Is it just the straight chest pumps nowadays?
Well, I'll find out today. But
okay, audience, scratch that from the record. If you need to do that today, you need to ask somebody better qualified than me.
The last time I was certified, it was I think that it was in the in between stages, where it was like mouth to mouth is optional. The most important thing is compressions.
I gotta feel like in a situation like that, I don't want options. I just want to know. Like, I don't.
Yeah,
I don't want to be doing a
Should I don't know.
The situation. Yeah.
So that's what I have to go and do that today.
You get one of those creepy dolls to practice on and all that.
Oh yeah, whatever. And they always like name the doll, which is always kind of weird.
Betty's dying. Yeah, like you gotta. It's not good.
The thing about doing CPR is then you watch like movies or television shows and you go, they're not doing it correctly.
That's true. You become one of those people.
Shatters the illusion. You gotta go much deeper on the compressions, and you gotta go much faster.
Oh yeah, you have to like break their chest, man. Like this is gruesome stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, usually they have to go. People have to go to the. I mean, they should go to the hospital anyway because they were dead for a few seconds.
Never in the history of true CPR being performed has somebody been like, yeah, I'm good. Oh, look at that, I'm good.
Hey, I'm back. All right, let's go about but yeah, usually you can really damage the ribs.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Is that your one thing, or now that we've talked?
No, that's not my one thing.
Yeah. All right. What do you?
Well, it's kind of adjacent to my one thing. I'm trying to think like which one. Do you have a one thing, or is your one thing going to the show topic?
It does not go into the show topic, but I've got a one thing.
You've got a one thing?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Let's go with your one thing. Let's go with that. Let's see where that leads us.
Okay. Well, so for a little bit of context, it was my birthday this week, and yeah, I made it.
All right, happy birthday!
I did it again. So thank you.
Now let me ask you this, because I'm terrible with birthdays. I never remember them, and I don't even really. Sometimes I don't even. I go, oh gosh, it's my birthday coming up or whatever.
Right.
So do you have? Are you somebody who's like, hey man, why didn't you remember my birthday? I guess like you get to the end of your day and you go, boy, Joe hasn't reached out to me for my birthday.
Oh,
which I did not.
Do I keep a list? No, I did know. I did make a note that Chelsea did reach out to me though. So I actually thought the house was covered, but then I was like, now you've let the cat out of the bag. That it's just the house is not covered.
See, I don't understand why Chelsea would do something like that to me. Like,
and she didn't even throw in like a happy birthday from me and Joe. It wasn't that. It was just two.
And so you thought the household was covered though.
Until now, yes, yeah,
until now,
right.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know. Yeah. Anyway. So go ahead. So it was your birthday. That's the concept.
By the way, I don't keep notes on it. If it weren't for Facebook, I'd never remember anybody's birthday. And so I am thankful to anybody that does remember and everybody that did wish me a happy birthday. I hope I replied to you. If I didn't, I either will get there or I'm doing it now. Thank you. I do appreciate it.
This is covering.
This is here's my down payment for everything in life. No. So yes, I turned 46. We're all adults here. I got new things that intrigue me and new concerns in life. Part of it is some some conditions that you get as as a male ages sometimes. But Joe, I entered the world of.
So scared about what you're going to say.
Are you ready? Yes. I entered the world of a bidet.
Bidet. Okay.
Yeah. Have you ever? You ever taken a little whirl on one?
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, you have. It's profound and revelatory, I would say. Profoundly revelatory. Rarely in life do you get anything that's profound or revelatory. I would say this was profoundly revelatory. Whole new world, man. Whole new world.
So what is, you went somewhere or this was given to you because
I own one for as my 46th birthday present. Yeah, man.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And it's like one of those attachments to your.
That's right. Yeah, it looks like you got a little control panel on the old the right hand side of the bowl. And let me just tell you, audience, on that little dial, you want to start low. Okay, you got to work up to the volume. You don't need. I don't know what happens from like 21% to 100%. But not bad.
Bidet all day, baby.
That's what I'm saying. I got people know, man. Once you're in, and look, this isn't just a one-way street. There's a couple different settings on that bidet. You can get in different places if you got different equipment or different needs. You know.
Okay. This is interesting because you're the one who introduced me to something called dude wipes.
Dude wipes, yeah. This is the next up. This is the evolution beyond dude wipes,
this
man.
Is the evolution. Oh, and so this is what happened to me. I have a septic, and I think it was the dude wipes. I think it was the dude wipes.
Yeah, you can't put those in a septic. You can't put those in a septic tank. What are you doing?
I mean, it says that it breaks down. It's completely fine to do that.
Yeah, well, I can't speak for them, but yeah, septic tank. I didn't even use a sink disposal when I had a septic tank, man. Now look, these are the clues where you know that other people are in the circle. We got people.
Oh yeah,
if it's heated or not.
No. Do you have heated?
Straight off the cold line, middle of winter in Wisconsin, in Minnesota. Man, where do I live? Minnesota, man.
That'll make you jump off the bowl, man.
Dude, I let out a little noise. Let me tell you. Woo! Yeah, the family knew it had been tested when it was tested. And let me tell you, that was one of the most honest sounds I've made, and.
Is it difficult to install?
No, I was amazed, man. It popped right on, and you could take it off for cleaning. You can, it was good. I was back in business. Now, I don't, for the people that have like really like You know how some people have like bathrooms that they're like, oh, we need the right colors, or we got to decorate it here, and people are going to see it. It might not work. Like it mismatches the color of the toilet a little bit. So I mean, there is that, which I know Kelly's going to not be a fan of. But
so this is for the bathroom in your house where you retreat to, that nobody else really uses, and
well,
and it's yours. You take a little bit of time, and it's not in the main area of your house.
Mine is in the main area for all to see. Where I have my daily routine. Usually the other folks in our home have gone to bed, so I can't use, I need my own privacy, which is the downstairs layer of solitude. But that is also where, if you have some dinner guests, it's going to be a great conversation starter. I'll tell you that. Next Ribeye Friday, got some friends over, and they're like, what is that little contraption? I'll be like, let's have a little glass of wine and go give it a test drive,
So this was given to you, or as you like to call it, this was gifted.
I received it. It wasn't. Yeah. That's correct. Yeah.
It was given to you, and it was by who gave it to you? Your son gave it to you?
No, my son didn't. My son is terrified of it. He's terrified of me talking about it. He's terrified that it is in our bathroom. He's terrified of it.
I just imagine Charlie in the. Oh, Dad could use a bidet. Yes.
I cannot. Here's what I know. That 13-year-old cannot leave anything alone, and he'll mess with something, and then he'll tell me he didn't touch it. And I will be able to hear. I will know good and well when he messes with that thing, because he is. So I've just let it be. I just installed it. It's there. No, Kelly got it for me. I've been considering it. I was like, I think there's a strong argument here.
That is love, man. That's great.
Yeah,
that's fantastic. Well, happy birthday. I'm glad.
Thank you.
That you're that you're nice and clean.
It's very refreshing, man. It's refreshing. Very refreshing. Very refreshing.
I feel like this is less about cleanliness and more about the experience of the bidet.
Well, it is. Look, I'll spare.
Does it give you more confidence?
No,
with a lot of confidence.
No, but you do have a new strut. I got to tell you what, your posture is a little better afterwards. I got to say. Again, I'll spare everybody the details. It's a helpful improvement for me.
That's good. That's good.
I'm happy. Yeah, I'm pleased with it. There we go.
That's great. I'm really happy for you. This new stage in your life. As you get older, you do. We all know this. We have different stages in life, and you have entered the bidet era of your life. Yeah.
I guess I'll leave it on this one thing. It's so rare at 46 that I actually experience anything new. I've been fortunate in life. I got pretty good resources. If I want to experience something, I've done it. I still have some wishes, and I'm not zipping around in jets and helicopters or anything. So there's plenty I haven't experienced, but it's relatively rare that there's something totally new where I'm like, oh, that is new. And this was one of those moments. I kicked off 46 with one of those moments.
That's great, man. I can try this thing.
There you go. You'll have to come back to Minnesota, man.
It's fun. Now, let's see. One thing. Oh yes, that's a funny line from Andy Dwyer.
You see? Solving the problems right there. Just
like a marker.
Go past, go directly.
That's
to
a
go.
blooper. From that show. Let's see. So I have like a little dilemma. This is my one thing this week. I get a little dilemma, and it has to do with my work. So one of my larger contracts, they got into a position where they did not want to use consultants anymore. So did not want to have contract work
Right.
in their budget, right? Did I tell you
Mhm.
this?
No. I'm familiar with sort of the circumstance. I'm following the story is what I'm saying. When I say right, yeah, no, I have not
So
known.
it's a good bit of money for me every month that comes in, and I do the work, and they're really happy with me. So much so that my contact was like, "Okay, we're not doing consultants anymore, but we don't want to lose you. So would you consider just being on the payroll?"
Hmm.
Okay, so so I'm like, it's funny because it's not materially, it wouldn't really make a difference. Like, and but also it's being on the payroll that changes things.
Yeah.
And I was worried about, like, as a contractor, you have very specific things that you do, and then you get paid for it. As an employee, it's different. Even though you might be working the same, like I would be on for, the maybe I figure out the same amount of hours. Um, but they take the taxes, and actually it's if I'm getting paid the same, I'm actually probably paying a little bit more, or getting paid a little bit more than, because I have to pay the self-employment tax, and all that stuff. So it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of strange. And I didn't know if I would do it, but it's such a nice contract, and my contact there was like, yeah, you can work whenever you want to. We just have to make sure that you're, this and that. And I was like, and so I had I was like, it has to be, I can't be beholden to a schedule, because other
Yeah.
work gets in the way. And it has to be the right price. And I've got to have clear expectations, and it can't really go outside of those expectations. Right. So I say all this to my contact there, who I have a long relationship with, and she says, "Okay, that'll work."
Yeah.
And so I go, "Okay, let's try it." And I started actually on a payroll about two or 3 weeks ago, and immediately all of my fears were confirmed.
Oh, wow. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
So yeah, it's like, now the expectations are still kind of the same, but you enter in as an employee, you enter in, and I don't even want to think of myself as an employee of this
Right.
this company.
Yeah, you
I
put
just
the
want to continue the work that I was doing as a contractor, and being paid in the same way.
that's
But
right.
then, but then I have to learn how to log hours, and I have to do that, like, just, it's too. And then you start to enter in, then you're on a team, and the people that I've met beyond where I was at the company before, great people, all of that stuff. It's great, fantastic. Okay. This So then there's this issue that comes up, though, and I'm not even a part of it, but my contact there feels as though this is not being handled well. That whatever this other issue is, that is outside my realm of responsibility. So that she takes a stand, and she's high in this organization. So she takes a stand and is like, this is a big deal. If we don't make the right decisions here, I'm going to have to, I can't be a part of this organization. So the second week that I'm there, she makes the stand, and she's the person that I report to now.
right.
So, like, and she takes the stand, and I'm like a part of her team and everything. And now the head of this organization decides that she's gonna be gone in 2 weeks. So now I am on the payroll here.
Wait, so she's given a 2-week notice that she's going to be fired? I tell you what, my reaction to that would be pretty interesting. I'm surprised that she's still part of the organization for the next 2 weeks.
She actually says, we're handling this, and I respect her decision. We're handling this situation, this one part of the organization really poorly. So we either change this or I can't be a part of this organization anymore. And I really, really respect that. It's an ethical thing, and even that is like, to me, is like, yeah, I can see how we are not ethically handling. And now I'm even using the language.
Right.
We are not ethically handling because I'm on the payroll. Right. So this is all of the stuff that I hate actually about being on a payroll. That there is that it's a we mentality. I'm a part of every decision that is being made. I'm not my own person, and now she is going to be gone by the end of next week. And she's been my main contact there. She's the one who champions my work there as a contractor. Kind of, I really kind of don't know what to do. And she says, just continue the work that we've hired you to do and that you've been doing as a contractor, and just continue to work there. And I don't know. It's like the whole thing has just put a really bad taste in my mouth.
So, okay, lots of thought. This might be the whole show. Actually, we might just have to stick here. All right, a couple thoughts and a couple orders. So when I didn't realize you'd already taken not that you owe me that. Like, that's not. I'm not like, why did you do it without talking to me? That's not what I'm saying. I didn't realize you'd already taken it. So when I was making some notes, the things that I really don't like in some standard HR wording are the vague, and any other tasks pertinent to what we ask you to do, which means no, you're going to do anything now that you're on the schedule, the payroll, especially when you're salary. And the one thing that I really don't like that I've actually had to insist, or I guess, is there a difference between insisting and demanding? It's sort of a nicer demand, but I've had to
it's a nicer one.
It's a nicer demand. I've had to insist that the wording, any innovations or developments or advancements made while you're employed here, become property of said company.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so even technically, any song I wrote while I was employed with the PGA Tour would be their property. And I'm like, no, I'm in the business of developing innovations or developing customer specific answers. You of course don't own those. And it's funny when that comes up, because they're like, oh, we never use that. And I'm like, well, then take it out. And they're like, well, it's just standard wording. I'm like, okay, well, do you want it or not? Because I'm not with that in there, that has to come out. So those were the two things that come to mind. But I also have to say, and I need to give this honest disclaimer because I really believe this, there is nothing wrong with working for a company. I love the idea of being an entrepreneur, but I've said it before, but I think one of the greatest value propositions in the history of humanity is this thing called a job. You come trade expertise, insight, and work for a reliable pile of money, and you get a lifestyle. It's a pretty neat thing, and there are benefits to it, and there's stability to it. And for some reason, people like us, we want to shun that, and we get ourselves into these things. Joe, it sounds like the only complicating factor is, and I hate to do this to you, but is money, right? If it wasn't a good payday, you'd be like, I'm out of here. This doesn't make sense. Right?
I mean, that's really what, yeah. I had the reassurances from my contact there that really the work that I was doing was not going to change.
Yeah.
And I trusted that contact, because we were just going to continue to, and that's really my problem. Like, it's not necessarily that I got on the payroll. The problem is that she is not going to be there anymore, and to protect me from all of the problems that are now going to come up because
and what the commitments were.
Part-time employee there. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, I just don't know really, what to do about that. But yeah, it is money, because it's a good chunk of change. And I mean, I've started to, like, this, you go and you go, okay, well, I've got this contract in place for 6 months, right? So I do that, I work that. And so you kind of, I don't know. Oh, this is how I work is I have a contract for 6 months. Take the foot off the gas of sales a little bit,
That's right. Exactly.
This work. I've got to do this work. I got to do it right. And I got to do it really well. So you just kind of take your foot off the gas a little bit. But like something like this happens, and I go, and just in the past week, I'm like, all right, I got to find different work. But this is like, it's a nice chunk of my monthly income, so I don't know really what to do. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, without knowing the specifics, that obviously would be private anyway, but I'll tell you a flip side example. I, out of nowhere, earlier this week, I think it was Monday, as a matter of fact, so that would be the 16th, I get an email from my biggest client, and it's another person in the organization rather than the direct person. And they say, great news. We got the new person in place. This big project we've been thinking about, we're ready to roll on. We can, we'd really like to see this done by the end of March so that we're ready for our spring season. And we think it'd be great if you were here next Monday all week and by here, they mean North Carolina. And by next Monday, they mean now, 4 days from now. And and that's on top of another big project that the main person who, as we say, signs the checks, has me working on. So I'm thankful for the work and for the opportunity, but I have to hit the brakes because I don't want to cause a political firestorm. Secondly, I have thousands of rodents, hundreds of snakes, in a car wash, and a wife and a son and a household, and 2 pretty important podcasts that I got to account for. And I said, look, and there's a wildly heavily seasonal aspect to what they do. I do understand the end of March deadline. Oh, and by the way, in March, I'm finally taking a family vacation for the first time in 2.5 years. I'm going to Tinley, which is the biggest part of my other industry that I worked my butt off to get into. So I'm going to be out of the office literally for half the month in March. And so I call the main guy that I work with and that I report to, and he signs the checks. And I said, look, I need your backup here because when we negotiated for 2026, I said, I can go and work as much as you want, but I need to know what you're committed to paying, because then I can make a decision of whether I need to hire somebody locally. And he said, where's the sweet spot of what you can handle without hiring somebody, which is great. Max out what I can pay or what I can earn on my own hours without cutting into my time, and not have to hire and manage and trust and rely on somebody else, which I'm not above doing, but it's easier just not dealing with it. And we landed at where we're at, which didn't really leave space for, hey, drop everything and fly here Monday.
Right. Yeah. Right.
I can develop a fee for drop everything and fly here Monday, but it's going to be a little more than my typical rate would be. And those are the kind of conversations that would be different, like that in a true consulting matter you can have, whereas in the world that you're in at the moment, you can't really have that. And you've given that up.
Right.
So now you have to choose Are you in or are you out? And then at some point, the new person is going to give you a performance review and say, we don't do this stuff this way, or we'd like to see this. And you can't go, no. Here's the agreement. This is what I do. I don't care what you'd like. Not I don't care. I'll consider what you'd like to see, but that's a negotiation, not a review.
Yeah. So isn't that funny though? Isn't that kind of the way that all even wage labor should be?
It is.
Should be.
It absolutely. I mean, that is why. Yeah, and I don't want to wade too deep into this because there are pros and cons. There's two sides to every coin, and I can argue them endlessly. But yes, that is exactly how wage labor should be. It's exactly why there is power in the unions, and unfortunately, but then the union has to negotiate for everybody. It's a collective bargaining rather than a person-to-person bargaining. But yes, it should be, and it's not. It's it's in that way. It's maybe that's the crux of what I enjoy so much now. I don't know.
Yeah. I just this is it really has to do with my contact though. Like I'm losing the contact there. Like she is the. We have a long-standing relationship. She trusts my work. She trusts that I'm not like, screwing her over. She likes the output that I give. Anybody new is going to be. It's going to be different. It's going to be something different. And so I guess I'm landing on like. I guess I'm landing on just like, okay, well, I guess we'll see what happens. But in the meantime, I guess I'll put the gas on sales a little bit more.
Here, I got it, Joe. It just clicked in my head. Here's what you need to do, in my opinion. The other thing one of the points, you were right in some ways that the other company's paying the Social Security and employment tax, but you don't get the deductions. Now you have other clients, so you could shift where you apply the deductions, all that. So it's not quite as strong of an argument. But there is freedom financially, and there's more angles anyway, I guess is what I'll say. Here's what I think you do. It sounds like you hold this, I think it's a woman, but this person in very high esteem that you're talking about, that's your contact.
Yeah.
Is she going to get another job and land on her feet and be a rock star?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. I would professionally, whether it's dinner, lunch, coffee, business meeting in the home offices of, JA Consulting, I would spend some honest professional time with her and say, you are A rock star, B, I trust you. You are the reason, you are the relationship that made this whole other relationship work. I hope we could stay in touch, and I hope that I can work with you again. If I can provide references, please let me know. I'd love to hear where you land. And I would plan that whatever you think her start date is, 90 days from her new start date would be the end date where you're at. And that you should have some introductions at the new company is what I think.
Yeah, there's two things that I think I completely respect her making this decision, which also is because I think it's the right decision. I think the way that she went about doing it was, I think, a good way of going about doing it. She needed to take a stand on this, and it makes me feel like I don't want to be a part of this organization either. But I do I like the work, and I appreciate the organization as well. I really like the organization too. It's just this one thing that's bothersome. That's number one. Number two, I think she is going to land on her feet. And those contacts are the most important ones, I think.
Right.
In this world, is like wherever she's going to go, she's going to she's going to need some help. So I'll be there. Yeah. And so it makes me,
I think,
but also in the position that I am at the organization, I also feel as though I can go, you know what? I'm not doing this. Like, and that's the difference between being a full-time employee and treating something like a contract, is that I am in a position where I can go, you know, if all of the conditions aren't lining up to exactly what I want them to be, then I can just go, you know what? I'm out.
Yeah. No.
And that's a good position to be in. And I think that's a different position than most wage laborers are in, actually.
No, it is a very different position, and there's a lot of layers there. But there's also the fact of like, let me frame this. And I've told the story before, but in 2016, after getting a wage increase, a fantastic review, life-defining position for myself, or an identity that I thought I had. Adam, we're all done with you. Thank you so much for your service. Here's a little check for thank you. And by the way, you'll sign here and not sue us for anything else. We think this check covers all your headache, your heartache. Now you can go have this talk with your wife. Lovely. Screw those folks. So I'm a little more cynical towards things. And that's 10 years ago now that happened. And life went on. And I will not say it was a great change, but it did provide a new outlook and maybe led to some ball pythons in the long run. It didn't immediately. But what I'm saying immediately, though, is like when you say what most wage employees are working at, like, there's almost like this strong arm, like shadow that hangs over people. Well, if you quit, you won't get a good reference and people will know. And you were only here for 2 months. How's that going to look on your resume? How's it going to look on my resume? It's not going to look anything on my resume because I'll never put my name next to your company on my resume. That's how it's going to look, you bum. Like, you know, like there's these like games that are played. And I'm not saying this company's doing that to you, but it's like ingrained in our mind. It's almost like the high school, like the permanent record threat. Remember that? Like,
yeah, right. Yeah. The permanent record.
It's going to be in your permanent record. Yeah. Well, where's this record? It ain't out there. Like, I don't care. So
I have no fear of that, but I
know you. Yeah. I really realize that.
Yeah. But yeah, and there's a lot of strategies like that to make sure that you're going to stay and you're going to continue to work here.
Right.
And they may not be overt strategies of the company, but it's ingrained into the way work has developed in our
the communication culture. Right. Yeah. But what I was on the topic of your colleague that you look up to and that you feel like there's a very solid relationship with. I don't know, and I actually don't even know what world this is in, if it's in academia or some other companies that you work with. But for me in food and beverage, a very common cultural thing. Joe, your tapping is echoing.
Sorry.
Airwaves. It's okay.
Sorry.
Is a very common thing is that you kind of like almost like sports coaches or college coaches, you assemble your teams that kind of like come with you where you go. So in the front of the house, like I would always have a go-to manager that generally if I came on board, I knew, like they would ask me, like, do you have a team that you could assemble? Do you have a network you could call? Yeah, definitely. With chefs, it's even tighter, man. You lose the higher up the ladder you go, the more of your people that chef leaves and takes another position, the more of his people that are going to, or her people are going to go with them to their new place. And I don't know the context and you might not even be able to share it because it might out who the client is or whatever. But if that's a component to it, man, I would sit tight, you know, take your check. You made a commitment. They made a commitment. Take your check until but like you say, hit the pedal on sales and get another thing lined up. And then what do they say? Business is business, you know, go on with it, man.
Right. Like I don't think that they have any loyalty towards me.
Right.
And I don't have any loyalty towards them. And that's not to say that they're not a great company and all of that. I think that they are. I think what they do is incredible, actually. But yeah, this is. I'm not stuck here. I do not. I did, and I'm not going to be stuck here.
No, good for you, man.
Yeah, and so it's. I don't know. It's but it does lend itself to some uncertainty, of course, as you go through this, and you go, okay, well, how am I going to make up the difference and make even more? That's like, to me, like, it's also about opportunity, right? It's like, well, okay, then I thought this was pretty good. But maybe there's something around the corner that's better. And maybe it's more in my wheelhouse too. I mean, I'm working towards being in academia full time.
Right.
So, and this is not that. So, maybe there is something that's around the corner that is better, that works better for me. So,
well, I'm
having that mindset is important.
Yeah, I'm certain of it, and I'll tell you why I'm certain of it. This sounds crazy, but this is truly what I believe. Like, and this actually plays into what we were gonna do the show on. This idea of sometimes you have, like, and this is a hard right turn a little bit, but I do think it's a good fit. The idea for the show today was going to be this discussion of improbability. Like, in life, we generally run away from improbability. We handicap bets against improbability. If you call a shot correctly against improbability, you can actually make money wagering and that kind of thing. But all the probable, reliable things are already taken. So anything good has to be a little bit improbable. And I really believe that, like, just getting started and just finding it. So, like, even if the probability of it being easy right there is, say, 1 in 10. Okay, so you get 9 no's, and on the 10th one, you get a yes, and it's a big yes. Great, you're all set.
Yeah.
No big deal. Right? Like, you don't need the things to be on your side. You just have to realize that it's going to take some work and that there is a payoff at the end. And I've, by the way, the little outcome of the denouement of the other conversation. So yada, yada, yada. Sunday, I'm flying to North Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah, we worked out an arrangement. A couple of people said that wasn't a yes or no discussion. That was the beginning of a negotiation. That's correct. Yeah. I am happy to figure these things out, and I will figure them out. And that is so that got sorted out. But this idea of the improbable, like, I almost wonder, like, my thought for the show was, like, how do you, like, leverage the improbable? Like, is there a sweet spot of a certain number of people saying that'll never work and a couple people going, oh, that's cool. Like, what's the mix? Is it 8 to 1? Is it, I can't, like I said, I didn't quite work all the way through it. But the thing I like too is I got to make, I had an opportunity to make a new pitch to a new company since we talked last, Joe.
Okay.
And I know this all sounds like, oh, karma, it'll come back, or you put it in the universe, blah, blah, blah. I'm not into that kind of stuff generally. But practicing those pitches and practicing that confidence and seeing what other people are doing and seeing other people's workspaces. I got inspired by their workspace. I learned more about their company so I could think of different ways that if this works or doesn't work, that maybe I can do this in the future. I thought of what their competitors, hey, here's things that I missed, but that I could pitch to a competitor in the future. It's all really good, and it all layers up just from starting on the sales. So even if there's companies that you're like, I got no chance at this, they're letting you, like, you're the fox going into their hen house. Like, you're going to learn and get, intel just from working with them. And that is going to fruit more opportunities. That's going to, those are going to be new seeds to sow, and you're going to make an impression on somebody. Who knows? That person talking to you could be the least happy person in the world that goes, I can't hire this guy right now, but holy crap, one day I'm going to figure it out.
Right. Yeah.
All of
Yeah.
those things, it's like the compound interest of social capital,
Well, I think there's a certain amount like I think I said something earlier in the show. It's like, oh, that's how I would feel years ago. Like years ago, I would have felt as though I'm beholden to
trapped. What are you gonna do? Yeah, I got this thing. What am I gonna do now? And the doom sets in, right?
Yeah. And I'm looking in the next few months that, I mean, I don't know. I'm going to play this out and see, who the next person is, and maybe we get along great and I continue there. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, the good news is you still got a check in the meantime. Yeah, it's great.
Right. So, but also I'm looking at my future with a considerable loss of income in the next few months. And I would have been scared. Even 10 years ago, but now I'm kind of like, there's something, you mentioned the word confidence. Like, I know that I am good at stuff, and I know that I can do things. To have the confidence in myself, and to know that I've invested in myself in such a way that I can be marketable and be valuable to other people. I just have to show that to them. That makes me able to handle things like this much easier. Like it makes it much easier to go, well, if this doesn't work, I just go to the next thing or I'll find the next thing. Meanwhile, I think there are a lot of people in situations where they're like, I don't know my value. I don't understand my value, or I don't get my value. So I'm going to be really, really concerned. And maybe I'm talking out of a place of, I don't know, privilege or something like that. I'm not like super liquid right now, so yeah. So it's like, so I do need this, do need to have this income, but I know that I have a skill set that will be valuable to other clients. I just need to get out there and do that. But I have invested in myself. I'm confident in myself. I know myself. And because of that confidence, I can handle things like this,
I think, you said maybe it's a little bit of privilege, and that is always a good thing to consider. I think in this case, it's life experience. Like, we learn things that you just go, that was total BS. What we've been taught or beholden to is nonsense. Sometimes, and I'm not saying specifically this or one thing, but there are moments in life where we go, what the hell? Like, why do we do this to each other? Or why do we program this to society? Because again, there's nothing wrong whatsoever with the job, but it shouldn't be this thing with layers of, well, you're kind of beholden to this. Well, you're going to have this doom and gloom. Well, you're going to know this, that you're going to be told this is the best thing out there, and you're going to be told it's scary as hell out there. Do you hear the conversations on the streets that they can't find anybody good to work anywhere anymore? Just go to any of those places and show them that you're good, and there'll be opportunities. So I'm with you.
I think that's even a good outlook if you are not doing your own thing. If you are, if you have a job, a regular job, I always thought that it was really, really important to remind myself almost daily that I am so much more than the 8, 9, 10 hours I'm putting into my job, that I am so much more than that. And I think, and to figure out ways to remind yourself that you are more than just the job. I was just listening to, there's a lot of people, like a lot of pop culture people who have passed away this past week. But I was just listening to an interview with Robert Duvall, and he was like, don't be my dad always said, don't be a farmer, be a man first, and then farm. Like, look at yourself as a human being, that is so much more than the work that you're doing. And that is the beginning of being able to go, well, I can farm, I can do this thing, I can do this thing. There is so much more to me as a human being that I have to offer than just the work that I do. And I think that's just how work has developed in this country and in the world. Maybe more so in this country than in other places. I'm not sure, but I just think that's how work has developed here, is that you think of yourself as the profession that you occupy. And that's a dangerous hole to go down.
Well, as cynical as I am, let me take the other side. It also is a measure of accomplishment and pride sometimes.
Sure. Yeah.
In that role that I was talking about, that they just pulled the rug out from under me one day, I was so proud to have accomplished that. I was so proud to say that I was the food and beverage director at that prestigious property. It provided very well for my family. We were living a really good life. I was living a good life. Talking about perks, man, there were perks, man. It was good. It was a good life. And so I did like that identity. I did like that sense of accomplishment. But when I took that job, I was 31 and had just gotten married, had a son on the way. It was like, okay, I'm the rock that my family's going to rely upon. And that was that. So that was a really, really good identity. And I attached all those things to it. So at 36, when that rug got pulled out from under me, I didn't have life experience. I literally had never really failed in my work life. Now, starting as a dishwasher, there's a low bar there of opportunity for success, but I had progressed. And it was the first time that I ever hadn't really like called my shot or controlled my situation. And that took that life experience to sort of reset a bit of outlook. So I empathize with people that say that's my identity. Yeah, I accomplished it. I worked 20 years to get to that spot. And then they just in one day, they hand me a piece of paper with numbers on it and go, yeah, be happy and get out of here. No, it still doesn't sit right with me, So I get the identity part of it. I'm not saying it should or shouldn't be. I'm saying I understand it is what I get.
Yeah. I think that's the reality of it. I think that's, just the way that people approach their profession as well. I'm a doctor, I'm a farmer, I'm a HR specialist or whatever,
Yeah.
I think that's a lot of how people think. But I also here's the other thing too, and I've been talking a lot about this with a buddy of mine as well, who's going through some stuff, not professionally, but personally. And so my take is always remind yourself that you are so much more than your profession, so much more than your job. You're a human being and there's so much more to you. And I that's something that I always have to remind myself, because I do get into these situations. And that's, part of my fear of being a wage laborer is that I know how I am. I know how I react. I want to be there all the time and do a good job.
Right.
So part of this is protecting myself from that. It's not about how the system is set up or anything. I just have gotten to know myself over the years, and I know that I'm going to find a lot of value in the work that I do, and I don't want to put all of that value in one place. So that's number one. But also number two is I think he's struggling. He's like kind of, his family is slipping away. He's in the middle of a divorce, and
this is your friend you're talking about.
This is my friend, yeah. And I'm trying to remind him as well that he is much more than just a husband and a father as well. And that's an even deeper dive.
That's way deeper dive. Yeah, man.
Yeah, because that is so much a part. That's so much a part of your identity. That's not based on wage or anything like that. It is, you find an intrinsic value in being a father and a husband in a certain way. And that, but I think what I'm seeing in him is that because he's losing that, because the rug has been pulled out from under him, and he cannot act in the same way, or act in the way that he thinks a father and a husband should be acting. Then he's losing his identity. He's going, I don't know who I am anymore. And that's the main thing that he said over the past 5 months, is that I don't have an identity anymore. I don't know myself anymore, because this rug has been pulled out from under me. Meanwhile, I haven't even known him as a husband. He's an old friend of mine we met in kindergarten. So I knew him I knew him before he was a father and a husband. And so that's that we're going down a road here that I think is really, really interesting. But it's the same kind of thing, that if
ingrained identity,
this ingrained identity, or not even ingrained, like this this chosen identity, and going, okay, this is who I am. And if somebody takes that away, who are you? I'm saying to him, you're a lot more than a father and a husband. But even that even sounds strange to me, because being a good father and a good husband.
Oh yeah, family's everything. It's the top of it. Yeah, it's all of it, right?
So it's a very specific type of situation that he's in as well, which is really making me think about all of these, the way that we identify ourselves, and who we become as we experience things. It's an amazing thing to discuss with him, and to see him go through this. And it's heartbreaking, but also it's great for me to think about as well.
Well, that's a whole show. No, I actually think a lot about it, because I'm really happy with some of how I envision myself and identify myself right now. And I feel really happy with it. And it sounds silly. I was driving around, running errands, going to FedEx, and on my birthday, I was like, you know what? I'm going to stop and get a really nice cup of coffee and a really delicious croissant at this really overpriced bakery. And I just sat there in my rodent dust covered clothes from working hard. And I sat there in my truck in the middle of Minnesota winter, with a truck full of snakes, to go to FedEx, and my expensive croissant. And I just sat there and I just smiled, man. I was just like, this is the life, man. I was like, this is it. This is what I've been looking for. You know what I mean? And yeah, we should talk more about how strong it would drive. Maybe fixing the self identity is how you fix other stuff, rather than fixing the stuff to change the identity.
Well, I mean, the things that I wish I could dissect what I'm experiencing through him, but I don't know if I should air his
sure, right? Yeah, that's the other thing. Yeah,
but there's so much that I'm learning about that, and it's like what you just said is something that I think is that there are decisions that are being made about his life that are out of his hands right now, that are, they're in the courts.
It's true. The stuff you control and what you don't control,
And so what I've told him is that you have to work on putting yourself into a position where whatever decision is made, you're still going to be okay. And so you have to work on your idea, get to know yourself again in such a way where you do feel confident that no matter what happens to you, you're still going to be this guy. You're still going to be this guy. Whether that's you're allowed to be a father as much as you want, or less than you want, or you're allowed to be even in the same country or not. This is a whole international incident.
This is an international incident. Oh my gosh, you got your hands full on consolation there. That's different than consolation. Holy smokes. Hey,
yeah, it's wild.
Before we lose everybody, guys, go check out Heart of the Python. That's Kate and Bill Peaver out in Massachusetts. They're a great family operation, great family of entrepreneurs. I talk with them about business outside of snakes. I've really enjoyed working with them, and I know it's been a packed episode of content, but I at least got to ask it. Check out Heart of the Python on TikTok. You could check out Heartline. That's their line of snakes that they're breeding for temperament. It's their way of growing the hobby and the industry, getting sort of pet ready animals into new owners' hands. A fantastic initiative. I'm really proud to be working with them. So check out Heart of the Python. Thanks for their support. Check out the banners below. Those are fantastic companies, but I just personally wanted to make sure that I mentioned Heart of the Python today. Yep. Joe, this is a couple sagas you're going to have to figure out what's going on. Oh, look at this. Magical Morphs hooking it up with Heart of the Python. See?
That's
where it goes, man. I like that. So how fast do you think this thing at the current, we'll call it what it is, the day job, how fast do you think that's going to go, man?
I'm not sure. I don't know. It could be a few. It could. I'm thinking maybe a month. I'll have a good understanding of where my position is going to be. So we'll see. The other thing too is it's too much. I'm taking a trip in March, and my contact knows that. And so, if anything affects that trip, I'm going to go, no, we're done. We're done.
So nothing is going to affect that trip.
No, I have to, my stepfather passed away, and I'm going to see my mom. And I'm like, if anything gets in the way of that, sorry.
Yeah, no, good, man. Good. I had something good to wrap up with, or what the heck? I just lost it. Dang. Well, anyhow, I this time next week will have just gotten back from North Carolina. I should be very tired when you see me. I'm coming in not quite the red eye, but the late flight. I'll get back up and do the show, and then get back to catching up. So Western North Carolina, I'll see you on Sunday. I can't wait to get back to the mountains there just outside of Asheville. It's going to be fantastic. Quick trip in and out. I felt like I had something really useful to wrap up with, and I'm annoyed that I forgot it. Like it's my skill, you get the tight wrap, and I'm here fumbling around.
I don't know, man. Enjoy your weekend. I don't know.
Here's where it is. I got it. I know, Joe, you were full of insight, and as Wally called them, affirmations.
Really? I felt like I was just rambling.
No, I thought they were fantastic. Here, this is so easy to say, and so we've all heard it, but I believe in it so much. Change is nothing but opportunity, and opportunity doesn't happen without change. Think about it. It literally can't. Opportunity cannot present itself without change. So when there's big change, you just got to figure out where the opportunity is in that change. Mm-hmm. Focused on that rather than the stressful hard parts. You've already made the decision. You know what's up, Joe. You've already made it. It's just a matter of timing and logistics at this point. Yeah. So it's going to go great. But for anybody out there feeling stressed, or there's too much change, or something weird's happening, there's all sorts of opportunity. And you know what? The opportunity might be whoever this new person is, that you sit down and go, look, here's who I am. Here's what I do. Here's what my agreement was. Your choice. Would you like me or not? But here's what we're going back to, because this is what I told you would happen, and it did happen. Sorry you inherited this, but now you understand.
Yeah. And if they go, yeah, let's do it.
They might go, yeah. And it turns out it was all one big hullabaloo for nothing, and you get back what you want too, Yeah. So there's a world of opportunity, and I know it'll go great for you. So have a fun week.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, I hope you have a great week, everybody. You all have a great week. We'll be back at the same time, same place, and all the advertisers' contacts are down below, including Heart of the Python. Go check that out, everybody. Sorry, this is where you'd say goodbye, Joe.
Okay, bye.